Hey, what's up? It's how to sync up audio and video in such a way that you don't have to resync it every time you drag a clip into the footage. For example, let me show you kind of what I'm talking about. So we have three folders here. We have three bins. We have our footage, sound, and our scenes. The scenes are just the sequences. Then we have our footage and our sound. Now, normally the way, at least this is a new way for me. I just discovered this. And so that's why I'm doing this in a whole new way. We're gonna make a new sequence just so I can get a fresh slate to show you guys what we're working with. And I don't know if you've done this in the past at all, but this should really help your workflow if you're working on longer movies. Now, normally, what I will do is I'll go through here and I'll take this footage and I'll drag it onto the timeline and I'll change the sequence settings. If you notice,
take one, scene one, take one.
The audio's kind of crap, and that's because we don't have our regular audio. So we'll go down here, go to our sound, and we'll look for scene one. Now, I've already gone through this, and I've already labeled all of the scenes and everything, which is, that's kind of a longer process, but it's completely worth it. I absolutely recommend going through and labeling all of your footage, especially for longer projects. So we're on scene one, take one.mov, and we're gonna take the scene one, take one over here, which is the same audio. And what I've done in advance is I've gone through and I've labeled the exact point with a little marker that can be placed with M where the clap is in the audio. So I'll rewind this a little bit. And so you have that from the slate. Now I'll just drag this footage onto here. So we'll look at the rest of the footage. And I've placed the same marker right exactly where the slate hits. And now that can be a little debatable if it's hit here or here. Well, the reason I do it this way is because I've noticed there's a little bit of an offset from the built-in camera microphone versus what the camera's actually seeing. And that offset doesn't really seem like it's a huge deal, but syncing up the audio creates a much more refined look. Syncing it up this way with a marker is much more, I believe, effective and secure. Because you can just work with it the way it normally is, but that's not the ideal way in my experience. So, that being said, we're gonna go through here, and actually, let me show you. If you notice, there's a little bit, go through here, and you can even see it in the waveform, actually. So the slate hits here, but the sound is a couple frames in advance. And we don't want that. We want the sound to be as in sync as possible. The way I used to do it was to go through here and line it up like this. And I had to do that for every single time I wanted to use a clip. What if I don't want that? What if I just want a single individual clip that I can use as many times as I want? I don't have to worry about resyncing every single time I move the audio. Well, that's what we're gonna cover today. So we're gonna take these two clips and hold down Control or Command, depending on your operating system, and select both of these scenes. We're gonna right-click them and then go to Merge Clips right down here. And so we're just gonna rename it, instead of merged, we're gonna say synced. Here you can sync with a variety of different ways. You can do in points, out points, time code, or the clip marker, or the audio. In and out points are where the clip starts and begins. Time code is a specific time code for it. I have never used that. Clip marker is exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what we're going to be using. It's just a marker in the clips. And then audio is a channel, and it's going to try and sync up the waveforms together. But as we discussed earlier, that's not exactly the best way of going about it. Now, we're going to use the clip marker, and I would go through and name your markers. I don't, so I do as I say, not as I do. But we're not gonna. We're almost all set. We're going to check this box, remove audio from AV clip. Now, what this does is this doesn't actually modify any of the original files, so you don't have to worry about anything getting deleted. It's just going to create a whole new file. We'll hit OK. It's going to create a whole new file. If you'll notice, scene one, take one, and scene one, take one are not modified. They're still there. But we're going to drag this clip onto, and suddenly we have a single clip that will always have a synced audio and video. and we can go through and we can expand the waveform, and you can see the clap happens at exactly the right time. Again, that's a little subjective depending on, whether you think it hits there or there, but that's how you create a merged clip, which I think are much more effective than just trying to sync your clips. I hope this helps in every video, movie, whatever you intend to make, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you later.